Hey sexies, welcome back to Interesting Nothings. This is your host, Jasmine Malone, and in this podcast, we basically just talk about anything and everything that I want to talk about. I personally love podcasting. It's one of my favorite hobbies. It's turned into one of my favorite hobbies. I just love doing it every week. I love hearing myself talk. I think I've said that before, but I like hearing myself talk. I like working through the thoughts in my mind, and it really helps me just know my voice. I feel like that's something every podcaster can relate to. I feel like once you get in the podcasting groove, you figure out what voice you have, and it can be kind of awkward at first, but that's one of the beauties of podcasting. You just figure out your groove, and I'm figuring out my groove, and so I will forever love podcasting. Anyways, this is episode number 23, and we're going to be talking about something a little bit more personal today. I actually filmed a video for my YouTube channel. If you don't already subscribe to that, I'll have the link in the description box below if you're on YouTube, and if you're on the audio platform, my YouTube channel is Butterfly Love, BTTRFLYLUV. It's kind of hard to spell, I'm sorry, but hey, I mean, it just looks really good. And we did some journal work, and I want to make a series on there where I do more journal entries and more journal work. And for this journal entry, we basically, or I'm saying we, but I did, but I mean, I'm planning on the whole purpose of the video is for whoever's watching to do it with me. Anyways, y'all don't care. Basically, I go into things that I need to work on because I feel like every human being has things that they need to improve on. Honestly, recently I've been feeling like I have a toxic ass brain, which is really crazy, and I'm I don't need to live here. This is not my brain, my body, that's all my home, and if it's toxic in here, let's make it healthy and clean. Come on now. So I am working on myself, and I just thought it would be special to share it with my podcast listeners because I just want to. Hey, I can just do things because I want to. This is what we call life. Anyways, before we get into that though, I do want to talk about a major change that I did in my life. Okay, so last week I was actually going through a lot. I mean, I'm still going through a lot, whatever. It's actually, I'm actually getting better. So it's not too much, but anyways, I'm not going to go into those details. But basically, I was kind of going through something, and I was maybe I should cut my hair. Because I've always really thought about it. I was I feel like I should cut my hair, but I don't know how I would look like with my hair short, all this, blah, 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 blah. I think I had this thought when I was 20, maybe 19 or 18. I forget which age, but I'm 22 now. And so I finally did it, you guys. I cut my hair. I did it myself. And I kind of did it spur of the moment. I would say I'm a pretty spontaneous person, honestly. I kind of did it on impulse. I was just I need to do it now. I looked up so many videos beforehand, researched, did my homework, and I was hey, I can do this. This is going to make me stronger. And honestly, my hair wasn't cooperating. So I was let me just cut it off because it seemed like it was unhealthy. I just kind of wanted to start fresh, and so I cut all my hair off, you guys. And I will say it does feel really freeing. I love it. I encourage anyone to do it. If you are on the fence of cutting your hair, you definitely should. And you're female, girl, come on, do it. Come on, sis, do it. Do it. You'll feel so free. You'll appreciate your beauty even more. I just feel I'm a really completely different person, even though all I did was cut my hair. But I mean, after that first cut and I felt my hair, I was oh my God, my hair is short. And then I was wait, this is gonna be so cute. And so this is just a new era of my life. I love reinventing myself. I love having fun, really. I just love having fun with my looks and evolving. And so yeah, I cut my hair. It's really exciting. And I already touched on how I've overall been feeling better. I haven't been coughing as much. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I was I don't know what happened. I think I was sick. My body, I was sick. I was coughing every now and again. I don't know what happened, but I feel I do feel better nowadays, and so it's just getting better and better, and so that's a good thing. And then I also wrote down in my outline that I've been journaling more. I feel like I'm just coming back to myself, you guys. Like these past like probably 7 months, I was just like, I was doing things out of maybe emotions. I don't know if that's the word, but I am just coming back to myself, and it just feels really good, like to be centered back into myself. It just feels so good. I love me. And so to come back to me and to not, obviously to work on myself and just get rid of like toxic thoughts in my brain and everything is just really good. And so I've been journaling more. I've been, reinventing my style, like I said, evolving, and we are transitioning into this fall season. I mean, it's already fall, and I love the weather change. It feels really, really good outside. I love going outside and not feeling like I'm like about to sweat my ass off, because fun fact, my other job that was like an hour away, and I had no AC, and it was hot as shit outside. Like it was crazy. I don't know how I did it. I just got accustomed to the heat, but like yeah, I did that. And then now, of course, now I don't work in Dallas anymore, and now it's getting better. I'm like, are you serious? This is crazy. Like, really now, really. But that's how life is, like I'm just learning every day that life is so unpredictable. It's not perfect, but it's imperfectly perfect, and just deal with it. Like, go along with the punches. Just be grateful every day and thank God. But yeah, I've been enjoying the weather, and I've just been feeling better, as I keep saying. And now we're going to transition into my vibe check. And if you're new to this segment is where I talk about music, my mood, and I have a poll question so you guys can get to know a little bit more about me. I have one song by Ariana Grande. I heard it this past week, and I was like, oh, is this not in my playlist? I added it to my playlist, and I was like, are you serious? This wasn't already in my playlist? What the fuck, bro? Because I knew every word. It just wasn't in my playlist. I'm like, what the fuck? But the song is called Boyfriend by Ariana Grande, and I feel like it's really relatable. I love Ariana Grande though. Like, I love all her songs, like literally going back into her older albums. I just love her music, her sound, her femininity. Like, I just love Ariana Grande. And then my mood right now, I will say I feel pretty calm. I feel like this episode is going by pretty swiftly, which normally doesn't happen. Oh my god, let me turn my phone on silent. I don't know if you guys could hear that. It's going pretty swift, and I actually really like it. I like that I am not having that much trouble recording. I'm not tripping over my words as much. Like, it feels really good. I feel really calm right now. So that's my mood. And then my poll question, cabin or beach? Good question. I don't know if I've done this before. I don't think I have. Have I? No, I don't think I have. For some reason, I think I have, because I feel like my old self would have said beach. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. If we have done it, we have. If we haven't, we haven't. Because my answer is different. My answer is the cabin. Originally, whenever I was trying to find a poll question, I was like, oh, the beach, because I love like being in the sand and like enjoying the water and like just having a chill beach day. Like, the beach is really fun. But at the same time, if you think about a cabin is fun. Like, cabin is like you're in the middle of the woods, you're on a mountain. Like, I want to watch movies, I want to make s'mores, I want to do all the shit in a cabin. Like, I feel like a cabin is so much more fun. Like, there's so many more things that you can do in a cabin. So I would definitely choose a cabin, and I feel like the cabin is more like fitted for my personality. I don't know how. I just feel like I would thrive in a cabin. You can like explore the woods if it's in the middle of the woods or a forest or a mountain, and like we're right in the middle of nature. Like, I mean, the beach is nature too, but it's just a different vibe, you guys. It's kind of like spooky, I'ma choose cabin. Okay, and now let's get into the main juicy topic of this episode. We're going to be talking about what I need to work on. This may seem like a selfish episode, but hey, maybe you can relate to these, because basically how I did my journal entry work. Journal entry work. How I did like my journal work is I had like 5 questions, and each question is a different level. So question 1 is light. Question 2 I feel like is light heavy or light medium. 3 is like heavy. 4 is heavy medium, heavy light, and then 5 is a lighter question. So I basically just answered those 5 questions, and we're just going to go through each of the questions. And I'm actually really proud of my my answers. Honestly, I really did feel better after doing this, so I can't wait to share it with y'all. So the first question is, what do you need to work on? That's just a simple question, and I put pride, jealousy, self-love, being open / soft, stepping into femininity, connection / relationships, and being strong in adversity. Question 2 says, explain your role in these things. So I'm just going to explain what's my role in each of these things, and it's going to get a little bit personal. So, if you can relate, comment down below on YouTube, I don't know, I'm like kind of awkward. Anyways, okay, so let's just go into these. Okay, so pride, I said peacocking. And if you don't know what peacocking is, it's basically like, I don't know if it's like arrogance, but it's basically like having a like, I want to say big head, but like I feel like I'm not like extreme of peacocking, but I have felt myself like peacocking before, and that's why I put peacocking. So yes, peacocking and thinking I'm better than everyone. I put in parentheses sometimes because I rarely do, but like I don't know. I keep trying to like defend myself because I don't want it to seem like it's something else. Like it's not like a super huge thing. It really isn't like my issue with pride, but it is there. It's slightly there, so it's something I need to work on. Okay. And then I said trying to hide mistakes, putting on a facade, and I put that sometimes. And then my next one was jealousy. My role in this is that I wish I had what someone else has. I'm always wanting to be the best option. Self-love, my role in this is that I'm not giving myself enough grace when I mess up. I'm my own biggest critic. Being open / soft, I said my role is not showing necessary emotions in certain situations because of it feeling uncomfortable or feeling like I can't be soft. Stepping into femininity, I said I think that I come across as only like a sexual object to men, and so I'm tired of just the opinions of men overall and just them feeling like they have to act on their dick. Or honestly, I'm just tired of men's dicks. That may be like a horrible thing to say, but at the same time I'm low-key like I don't want, like, why is your dick even in question here? Like, I'm not here to just pleasure you. So I guess that's not really explaining my role in these things, but well, I guess my role is that like I think these things and maybe they're not all the way true. Okay, moving on. Connection / relationships, I said my role is that I shut down and I feel like I'm alone and no one has my back. I separate myself because I'm scared of being hurt. And then being strong in adversity, I said my role is that I disappear and I don't stay strong in face of a challenge. I normally retreat. That's like my safe spot, is to retreat. Not all the time, because I feel like, anyways, I'm tired of explaining. I'm like trying to over explain. I need to not do that. Just take it as it is. Okay, so those are my answers for number 2. Now we're moving on to number 3, which is write down the roots for these roles. So I wrote down my roots that I think explains these roles and why I act in them. So starting with pride, I said I don't want people to think I'm a loser. I don't want to be lame. I have a little pressure being the oldest. So if you don't know a lot about me, I am the oldest grandchild. Oh wait, no, I'm not the oldest grandchild. There's a male, I have a male cousin who I think he's a year older than me. So I'm not like the oldest, but I'm the first female grandchild. And for some reason, I just feel like I maybe I just put this pressure on myself and it's like no one else is having this pressure, but I low-key think that there's like this invisible pressure on me just because I was born at an earlier time. And so yeah, that's why I said I have like this pressure being the oldest, so there comes with like a little bit of pride with that. Moving on to jealousy, I said I always think there's better and that I'll be left alone. And I put in parentheses abandonment issues. So yeah, I feel like I do have like a lot of abandonment issues, like neglect issues maybe too. And that's definitely a root. I feel like that's just like my root for jealousy. Like I just feel like people, once someone, whoever it is, friend, boyfriend, whoever, sees that like I'm lacking something that someone else has, I just feel like they're going to go to them and they're just going to leave me in the dust. And so I think I get jealous sometimes, and not all the time. Like it's not like, again, all of these, it's not super extreme. It's not like, oh my God, she's jealous right now. Blah, blah, blah. Like, no, like literally I'm not like a jealous ass person, but I mean, jealousy is like, an emotion. And so, whenever I do have this emotion, I always think that someone's just gonna they're just gonna leave me because there's something else better. And I'm like, well, I wish I had that. So then you don't leave me, basically. And yeah, but again, normally, like, I mean, it's nothing like too crazy. Like, honestly, like, I think I'm saying this because like I feel like certain people are going to listen to this and then they're going to be like, oh my God, we know more about you, we're just going to try to hurt you even more, which I'm like, that's a toxic thing to even think about. And I'm like, I think that's why like I don't say, okay, now I'm like going into a whole different spiral. You guys, in my real life, I do not really talk a lot. Like, I don't talk a lot. I feel like I'm way more like social on social media. I'm social online. I don't talk to people a lot because I feel like whatever people know, they'll like try to hurt you. And I'm like, why is this a thought in my brain? Like, why is this shouldn't be a thought in my brain. This shouldn't be like, that's such a toxic thought. And I'm just like, does that explain my environment? Like, I don't know what that is. Anyways, okay, moving on to the next one. Self-love. So the root is that I always think I have to be perfect. I have a huge standard for myself and I don't want to disappoint myself and others. I feel like my standards for myself are just, it's not crazy. It's just like I have a certain standard that I want to live by. I mean, I feel like everyone should have a standard. And so I just feel like if I disappoint myself, I get kind of, disappointed in myself, and I hate feeling disappointed in myself. And so I feel like that is the root of why I don't show enough self-love to myself, because I feel like I don't live up to my standards or maybe other people's standards. I feel like I disappoint people. I feel like I have to be perfect. Like I have to like put on a show somehow, I guess, if that's the word for it. So yeah. And then being open is my next one. I said my root is that I have a lot of trauma dealing with people who aren't considerate or purposely wanting to make you feel bad. Okay, that explains like my earlier comment that I said. I always think people are against me, and I put in parentheses knowingly or unknowingly, because fun fact, I didn't know that I was being put into like these competitions, and I really don't want this to sound cocky in any way. Like I really don't want this to I don't want this to sound cocky. I really, really don't. But I feel like just reflecting on my life, I realized that like I realized actually that it's human nature to like compete, I guess. I don't know. Oh, is that what like natural selection is? Like natural selection is basically a competition. But I'm like, I shouldn't look at life as like a competition. And I don't. But like I said, knowingly or unknowingly, I didn't know I was being put in these like competitions. Like people want to be better than me. But I'm like, oh wait, no, it's not like they want to be better than you, Jasmine. They want to be just better overall. And so that's where I have to like rewire my brain. But like I'm just like, why me though? I don't get it. But yeah, and I said I'm scared to lose. because you never really want to lose. It doesn't really feel all that great to lose. And so I think that's why I struggle being open, because I'm like, oh, well, they're going to realize that like I'm a loser, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm not really a loser, but like, I just feel like I'm going to do something that you're not going to like anymore. And you're just going to hurt me, and then you're just going to leave, and then you're going to just be like, oh, she's a loser. Like, basically like that. And so I struggle being open because I'm basically just scared. Basically, that's just what it is. But I always think people are against me, and I'm basically scared. Femininity, my root there is that I've been ugly before and didn't know what femininity was. For me, I didn't know myself for almost 10 years. So dealing with men is difficult, and I hate that now I'm on the other side and being looked at as an object. So that's why I want to improve in, my femininity, because I don't want to just be like viewed as a sexual object, even though I can't control what other men are going to do. But I just think like I don't like that men are starting to look at me as a sexual object, even though I did slightly want this before, but now I'm like, okay, now I don't really want it. I just want to be at the neutral line. Like, I just want to be feminine. I just want to be like the most prettiest person I can ever be. I just want to be strong in my femininity. I'm not trying too hard to look sexy or to look a certain way, even though I never really was before. But it's just like, now that I know what men are like and how they just act on their dicks, it's honestly just like disgusting. And so I feel like that's kind of hindered me on like stepping into my femininity fully, because I'm like, oh, well, I'm just gonna be put in a box where men are just gonna like want to basically have sex or like do something with their dick, and I'm just like, ew, like that's just gross to me. Like, it's just so gross. And so I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be as feminine, because then that like makes it less. But I'm like, well, I don't want to not be myself and not act not feminine. Plus I have, like I said just now, like I've been ugly, and so knowing the switch, it's just like I want to find a balance of just like being myself and being a strong feminine person with, like I said, a balance of being sexy, but also being beautiful, but also being just pretty, like just being gorgeous, like all those things. Like, I want to be feminine and not just being put in like, a sex robot box, because no, that's not what this is. Next, let's move on to connection and relationships. So I said my root here is that I never really had a true connection with anyone in my life. I've always been more on the alone side. I don't really know how to have a good relationship with people. It's harder for me. I always think they're going to abandon me. So again, another like abandonment issue there. But also I feel like it's hard to like build a relationship because of basically things I said before, like being open, and like I really want to work on that, because life is so much more fun like connecting with other people and having a relationship and all those things. It's crazy because like I'm so easygoing. I feel like I'm so easygoing, but like deep down I'm like, I low-key hate people. And so like I want to take that route of like hating people and turn it into, hey, this is an opportunity to grow with somebody and to evolve with somebody and to build something through the hardships, through the challenges. And I've had this mindset before, but like I said, these are things that I need to improve on, because I just don't have those connections now. I'm trying to build it up on my YouTube channel. I'm trying to find people, through apps and everything, but I want to just really find those people. I really want to find those people, and once I find them, I know that like we're set for life, because that's the type of friendship that I crave. I want to have a forever friend, basically, through all the timelines and the universes, multiverse, whatever. Like, you're my friend, like this is serious. And so yeah, I just feel like I never really I've had friends, but like I never really had like a true ass friend. And maybe I have, and I was just being toxic. Not being toxic, because I don't really think I'm toxic, but unknowingly toxic, and push them away. And I'm like, I'm not trying to like push people away. I just want to build a better connection, like have it be easier to connect with me. But again, like I said, I'm scared because I just think people are going to abandon me at the end of the day, and they don't really care. Like, it's all fake, it's all a facade. Like, they don't really care. They're just talking to me because something, I guess. But like, at the end of the day, if it's like choose me or choose them, they're going to choose them. Or if it's like choose me or choose another person, I feel like they're just going to choose the other person. I'm just like, what I do? I try to be a good person. Like, maybe I'm just not, I haven't found the right fit. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but let's move on. Okay, so the last one is being strong in adversity. And I said the root here is that I don't like when people challenge me because I'm always really kind. Like I just said before, I think I have doubts in myself for thinking I can't win the challenge or that I'm not qualified. Then I always think people aren't going to support me even if I deserve it. Exactly. And obviously these are all roots because I mean, if you think about a root in a tree, like it's been planted, it's, it's been through so many different seasons, experiences, like it's witnessed a lot. And so it's hard to really uproot these because it's rooted, like the roots are some of the strongest part of a plant, and I want to rebuild my roots. I don't want to think these things anymore. These are my toxic things. I don't want to be the same person. And so, like I said, like I feel like I'm a super kind person. Like I'm pretty neutral. Like I really try my best not to ruffle any feathers, not to, have any conflicts with anybody. Like I try my best, honestly. And so it's hard for me to accept a challenge or to like be strong, I guess, in adversity, because I'm just like, I just don't want to be there. Like I don't want to be in that mindset. I don't want to like have to like win, basically. And so I really want to I guess I'm going to explain how I'm going to change it. But yeah, that's just my root. I just feel like people at the end of the day, like they're not going to support me, and I'm like, that's so not true. Like you don't know. At the end of the day, you don't know. But I just feel like I'm just fighting for my life. Like whatever instance it is, I feel like I'm just fighting for my life, and I'm just the only one in my corner. And that I'm like, this is like wasted energy. I'd rather just walk away than like engage. And I really, like I said before, like I really want to be stronger. I don't want to just shut down or walk away all because I feel like I'm not qualified or that I just don't, want to engage. I mean, there is some healthiness to like not engaging in things you shouldn't engage in. And I just feel like if it's like too many opposing things, I'm like, you know what, why be there? Because there's no point. Like, I'm not trying to be your op. Like, basically, like there's like, that's so childish to me. I'm just like, we can all be different and all be great. Like, I'm not trying to be a op, but if you make it like that, then I'm like, well, I gotta like just leave because I'm not gonna entertain it, basically. But I just really want to work on like just being stronger and like accepting that people are going to be ops, and that is okay, because that is a normal part of life. You like, not everybody's gonna be your friend, no matter how kind you are. Things happen, and you just gotta be strong. And so that's what I want to do. Okay, question number 4, I said, how can we cut these roots? So it's not like I'm not just uprooting these, I'm cutting these, because I don't want these to grow deeper. Now that I'm thinking of like the root analogy, I'm like, well, the roots can just grow back, but like I'm cutting it at the root. Like I'm cutting it to where like we're growing new roots. And so how can we cut these roots? Where I said for pride, I said, and in these answers, I kind of more so like affirmed myself. Like if I ever feel any of these, I'm definitely going to go back to this journal entry and just read these over, because these are great reminders. And so I'm always like just going to go back to these so I can affirm myself in being good, like being a better person, instead of like going to like that toxic thought and then like just spiraling in a toxic thing and then not being healthy, basically. So pride, I said, everyone is a winner, even when you lose. Always be open and ready to learn. Affirm yourself. Don't let others' narrative of you affect you. Be more human. It's okay to fall, even when you're the oldest. Always do your best. For jealousy, I said, well, guess what? There is better, but never hate them for it. We're all a part of God and are all beautiful in our own ways. Celebrate others when you feel jealous. And if you're around people who don't appreciate you, love you, hype you up, and always folds, then maybe cut them off. You're gold. It doesn't matter who else comes by. I don't know, that's just something like I always have to tell myself, like, because there is better out there. Like I said at the beginning, I said, well, guess what? There is better. And yeah, there is. But like at the same time, love them for being who they are. Don't be jealous per se. I mean, I guess you can be jealous, but admire them with like a beauty. Don't be like, oh, I'm like, I want that. Why don't I have that? Be like, oh, wait. No, you're beautiful in your own way. God made you beautiful, and God made me just as beautiful as you. We're equals. There's no one more or less. We're equals. And the beauty in both of us is great because we are just a speck of the divine. And so there's no real reason to be jealous in a negative way. Show admiration and celebrate them. And then I said, like, cut people off who don't appreciate you, love you, hype you up, and they always fold for other people. If you have those type of people in your life, cut them off. Like, there's no reason to be around them because they're just going to like choose other people. Even though you want them to choose you, they're going to choose other people because I feel like they just know you have that button to push and they're just going to do it. Like, just dead the whole thing and go somewhere else where people will appreciate you and they will love you, and you don't have to prove your worth. You don't have to prove your worth to nobody because, like I said, you're golden. Like, you're already perfect as is, like perfectly imperfect. Whatever it is, you're perfectly imperfect, and just work on yourself and just love yourself. Like, that is the best love other than like God's love. The best love, the second one is self-love. Like, right after that is self-love. So definitely make sure to have that. Okay, self-love is actually next. And I said, you don't have to be perfect because you're already perfectly imperfect. Walk with that confidence. If you mess up, extend grace to yourself. And if people leave, just know you'll never leave yourself. I feel like a lot of times we forget that we are also an individual. We're also a person that judges ourselves. And so if people leave you, don't ever leave yourself. Don't ever like count on other people to be in your corner because, you know, people can change their mind. They can change their mind all the time. Like, life is not permanent like that. Like, unless you do have those people who are permanent, and that's wonderful and great. But just know, like, if people do leave, don't leave yourself too. Like, don't leave yourself behind. Like, you always have yourself, even though you're like, oh, well, I'm just in this body or whatever, I'm just living. No, like, you are a whole human being and you don't need to leave yourself either. So at least you have you at the end of the day, and hey, that's more than enough, really. I mean, you came into this world alone and you gonna leave this world alone. My next one, I said being open, and I said we can give gentle energy. You have access to it. Staying gentle when someone is blatantly being rough will show that you have more strength. When you feel hard, express it. Don't be afraid to say how you feel in the moment. Always try to let loose. It's okay. It's always okay in the end. Yeah, like I said before, I feel like I struggled with like being soft because I just feel like once you're soft, you're like open to hurt, I guess. And so I want to challenge myself in like saying how I feel. If I'm like, oh, well, you know, I kind of feel hard right now, or I kind of feel, you know, this way, that way. That's why I'm not really like open or soft or like loose. 9 times out of 10, if you have like the right people around you, they will understand you, hopefully. And will try to help you. Like the people in your life are supposed to help you. They're supposed to help you advance. They're supposed to help you be a better person. Like, we're doing this together. That's why we're a part of each other's lives. At least that's how I view it. And so if you have those people around where you feel safe to, express your feelings, express it. Say that you don't feel you're not on the same level, or you're not, if you want to be here, but for some reason your body feels hard and like you can't do anything. Like, just be really honest. And that's what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try that same thing. And so if you have the same struggle, hey, we're gonna try together, because that's all you have to do is try. I really think that if you're honest with your feelings and you say it out loud, you don't like just hide it, 9 times out of 10 people will understand and they will try to help you. And so that's what I want to do. I just want to be more honest in how I am, because I feel like when I am harder, I do come across as a different person than I want to be. Because I feel like if you've ever been like hard, I think you can relate to how it makes you, like, it's like you're hiding yourself, and I don't want to hide myself. And so people, they're perceiving you, and if you're acting hard, then you're being perceived as something that's not you. It's just this hard exterior, but the real good stuff is like, the balance of soft and hard together. You shouldn't always be hard. And so, yeah, I just want to practice being more soft. I want to practice being more open, and that's how I'm going to try to do it. It's just try to be more honest and try to be more gentle, come to situations with like a gentle energy. I don't have to be, I feel like being gentle is like one step further into like breaking the shell. Like, just gently break it. The most hardest things, I feel like it seems hard, but like you just gently break it, and hey, it comes apart. It's not like you smash into it, but like you just break it if you want to break the shell. And so I want to practice that. I want to practice having a gentle energy, and I do go into like having a gentle strength as well later on, so we'll get into that. But yeah, for this one, I do just want to have a gentle energy. My next one, femininity, I wrote, find that balance of being a sexy goddess who knows she's being looked at. Always be a pretty flower. That's who you are. Don't pay too close to men who only look/comment because of something regarding sex. Always be yourself and be strong when men disapprove or when they look at you weird. Stand strong in your femininity. You're resilient. Next one, connections/relationships. And I said, never stop trying. Yes, we like alone time, but you can't do everything alone. There are connections for you out there. Try to find a common ground and don't be afraid to build. Be honest. Don't lose yourself in others. And if they abandon you, always remember you are truly your own BFF. You always have yourself. So kind of similar to what I said earlier, but I gotta be open to connecting with others. And if I feel like it's hard to connect, I can always try to find a common ground in anybody. Like, I want to at least try to find that, because I feel like we're all human beings on earth. We have similarities. We have things to relate to. We have things to find a common ground. And so I just want to work on that aspect of my life by doing those things. Being more open and being honest and not losing myself in others, because I feel like before I would just lose myself in other people, and I don't want to do that. Basically, the theme of this whole thing is to be strong but also be soft. Okay, and then the next one is being strong in adversity. I said, always know that you don't need anyone's applause. And if everyone hates you, even when you don't deserve it, note it. That doesn't mean stay away. Always believe that you are strong. Whatever is going on doesn't have anything to do with you. Never ever stoop down to their level and remain gentle. A gentle strength is hard to come by. Kill them with kindness. So whenever I'm in an op situation, I'm definitely going to look at that, give me, motivation to be like, hey, you can have a gentle strength. I feel like that is one of the most like underdog traits, to have like a gentle strength towards a situation. You don't have to match their level. You don't have to stoop down to their level if they're being like blatantly rude or whatever. Just be gentle. Like, just be gentle, but stand your ground. And I feel like that's me being stronger in adversity, because let me tell you, I feel like people, like, try me, or it's not like people try me all the time. Actually, I really don't have a lot of ops. But if I do, though, like, I'm just going to try to remain centered and just being gentle and have that be a strength. It doesn't have to be looked at as somebody who's weak, but more so somebody who's just deeply rooted in their gentleness and never going to like match the same energy, because that's not who I am. Basically. And then my last question I said was, identify who you are now without these roots. And I really wanted to write that question because I wanted to show like a transformation. At the beginning, it was more like, well, this is what I struggle with, and these are my issues. And now that we went through the roots, we went through the roles, we're cutting the roots, who are you now that you don't have these bad things? And so I'm gonna go through each of them, and then we're gonna be done, you guys. This was a cool episode. Okay, so my first one is pride, and I said, I'm level-headed, not lesser or more, just real. Jealousy, I said, I can admire God in others and celebrate them. Self-love, I said, I exude confidence to the world and have so much grace for myself. And the next one, being open/softer, I said, I'm softer. I come across as genuine and always willing to find common ground. Femininity, I said, I'm beautiful. Regardless what anyone thinks, I'm going to always exude strong feminine energy. And then for connections/relationships, I said, I come across as someone willing to connect and share. My sensitivity is loved for in these relationships, and they help me grow as a person. And then for being strong in adversity, I said, I'm stronger. I can stand my ground even if my voice shakes. I don't disengage without a good fight. I always have my back, and I always exude a gentle strength. So we made it to the end. Those are the things that I'm going to be trying to work on and improve. I'm really excited to grow in these areas. I feel like I'm like addicted to growing. I always want to work on myself, and I feel like I could in these areas. So I feel like it does take a lot of strength to admit your weaknesses / like struggles, and it's really not that scary, you guys. If you do this yourself, I feel like you will look at yourself in a different way, and you'll have more compassion for yourself. Like, I felt so much better after doing this. And so if you try this, with these questions, let me know how you felt in the comments down below. And if you have anything else to comment down below, if you related, or if you have any other tips for me for what I said, I would appreciate them. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and give me a good rating if you guys are on the audio platforms other than YouTube. And make sure to love yourself today and forever, because that is one of the best loves, like I said before. But thank you guys for listening, and I will catch you guys in my next episode on Interesting Nothings. Bye.